spit some bars on us.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna hear the Kai vocals.
Oh yeah. Well, absolutely. We're gonna do it. We might not do
Which
it right
means
this
there's gonna be a concert tour planned next.
Oh, you know what? Play that track. Wait, Minikai.
Hold on a second.
Minikai, where the track at?
This might get in the way of your prep for the Masters Olympia or any other show you may want to.
Oh,
You're gonna have a lot of conflicting things. You're gonna be a pop star. You're gonna be an artist. You're gonna be a comic book sensation. And somewhere in that, we're gonna fit Kai Greene back onto a bodybuilding stage. But I'm very interested in this music aspect.
Oh.
This is a bomb that you're dropping on us right now,
Really?
which
You
I don't
think
know
so?
if anyone saw coming. We
Really?
saw the creativity in your artwork.
Man.
We saw the creativity in your comic. We saw the creativity in his guest posting appearances and all of his on-scene appearances. I don't know if anyone in the crowd or anyone watching this knew Kai Greene's got some vocals. Kai Greene's got some bars.
Well, you know,
What kind of a genre?
I don't want to turn around and try to be too boastful.
What kind of a genre are we talking here?
What we talking? I mean,
Are we talking soul? Are we
I
talking
write.
pop?
I write. Yeah, I write. I sing. It's really about to go down. It just ain't gonna go down here right now. Me. Yeah.
Who wants to hear some bars? Who wants to hear some bars out of Kai?
It'll happen. It'll happen. But we're gonna prepare to bring it when it's supposed to be brought. Right now, we just talking, and what I can say is my thoughts now are very powerful. You may not know something about me. I'm gonna share it with you now. My thoughts become things. So if I say it, believe me, I'm working behind the scenes and I'm putting it together. And real talk, when it's ready, you gonna see it. So stay tuned.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Kai the Predator Greene.
That Predator stuff, that was so crazy. That was actually Steve Blackman. Blackman,
He
from
loved
Muscular
the
Development
nicknames.
Magazine.
He loved the nicknames.
Yeah, you know what? He actually did me a tremendous honor and opportunity so many years ago with giving me a publishing contract, publishing deal with Muscular Development Magazine. It was the first time that I got a chance to. I'm gonna just share this with you real quick. I know it's kind of crazy. You know, already ended this thing, and it's like I got to go. But, and the idea to talk about how thoughts become things. There was a season when I had worked really, really hard. I thought I was gonna do this damn thing, right? I was just be this professional bodybuilder. I can be successful. I'm working at it, you know. But at the time, everything around me did not say that. You know what I mean? If you looked, my friends came to the competitions, and I was placing like dead last, 15, 20. It was like, it's crazy. I come to the show, I work real hard, diet hard, train harder, get to the end of the show, and I was lucky if I could do my posing routine.
So what was that aha moment for you where it all clicked, where it all snapped?
So the aha moment.
Kai Greene, that elite bodybuilder.
Well, here's the thing. You will always destined to get an opportunity to share and show what you aspire to be. You know, because you're always a creator. Anytime you turn around and you work out and you think to yourself, like, you know what? This next rep is important to me. This next set is important to me. And because it's important to me, I'm gonna fight for it. I'm gonna do this thing. And even though at the end of that set, that exercise, that training session, you walk away and it can seem like, well, nothing really happened to people that are outside of you. Okay, well, all right, you know, or maybe you, but for you, it's a stepping stone, you know? So anyway, I got to these competitions and I remember placing dead last. And I was so excited because I got a chance to do my posing routine. And my posing routine, I thought, yeah, man, this is it. This means that I got here and not everybody got a chance to do their posing routine. But then even when I finished, I had people that walked up to me at the end of the show and they said, man, good luck, you know, next time, hopefully you'll do better. And it was like, wait, you don't understand, I did my posing routine, I knew I could. All right, so I gotta raise my idea. And I remember sitting down and writing out I had a little journal. I used to journal everything. I heard people talk about how important journaling was, and I would write out, hey man, so this is who I am, this is who I wanna be. Yeah, you know, before I got a chance to really even be able to say how I believe with every ounce of my being, your thoughts are powerful, my thoughts become things. I remember writing it out in my book over and over again. I remember practice signing my autograph, signing over and over and over again. Today I will sign something and people will say, wow, Kai, that is a beautiful handwriting. And it's like, you don't understand, you have no idea I'm saying this because there was a time when I questioned, but I didn't. That season, I wrote every day in my journal, listen man, at the close of this season, I will have one publishing contract with some magazine. It will be one of the big two. And there were two very big ones at the time. Well, you know, I ain't have to say it, you know who they were. And real talk, I believe that somewhere in the possibility of creation, there was an idea where I was the success that I really aspired to be. And what I had to do right now was focus on where I was and just do that work. Every day I came up with 1,000 things that I needed to do. I started with 10. 10 things that I needed to do today that if I did today would help me get in the direction that I wanted to go. By the close of this season, what I wanted was one publishing deal with one of the big two. What I also wanted was a supplement contract. I wanted a deal. I want to be a pro bodybuilder, so I said. And the truth was, I believed that a pro bodybuilder that was able to pay his way in his life through doing what he did on stage, doing the thing that he loved every day. These are the things that I believed were important to me to establish by the close of this competitive season. So every day I worked, I started with 10 things. I came up with 1,000 things that I could do in the course of 2 days. And I write in my journal as I moved closer each day to the completion of that season. At the close of that season, I had a publishing contract with Muscular Development Magazine, and the way they did it was crazy. I was in the middle of an interview with Flex Wheeler. This was a dude that I used to look up to. I had pictures of him on my wall and stuff. It was crazy. But now this guy was interviewing me, the same kid that was somewhere in the bottom of the gym, the bottom of the facility doing push-ups, wishing he could do something that makes the world care, who wanted to matter. Now, I had the legend, yeah, Flex Wheeler himself, doing an interview with me, and guess what happened? Right in the middle of the interview, Steve Blackman interrupts. It's even even today, you can find it on
somewhere on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. When Steve Blackman interrupted the interview, comes in and says, "Well, don't worry, Kai Greene, we're gonna get you a contract, and it's already gonna happen." I was now signed with MD, and I was competing at a show that I placed 6th in at that time. It was crazy, but it was the beginning. Somebody could have said at that time, "Oh, you know what? Damn, Kai, you placed 6th at this show. Too bad you didn't win." If you knew what I was writing in my journal for that whole season, to be standing there the year, so I wrote this thing for the whole year before that. So when we get to that moment, I placed 6th in the show, but technically, what was revealed to me was the yes that I'd been working and praying for the last years of my life. It was crazy. Again, we talked about a little bit earlier about how, sometimes you have to expand, your vision or idea of what it means to win, in order to understand the possibility of really what you have when
you
you've
also
won.
have to, in your words, execute and have an actual game plan. One that's actionable.
Because again, you're talking about placing where you were placing, and then from that to having a supplement contract, to having a publishing contract,
Crazy.
and you accredit a lot of that to journaling, to writing down those goals, to writing down your progress.
I think journaling was a tool.
Actionable.
It was a tool. It was
So
one of
what
those
was the
tools.
big break? What was that big thing you could point to and say to yourself, this is where everything turned around. I got the supplement deal, I got the publishing deal, and then I was on my way to joining that elite crust of bodybuilding.
I think the big break came when you said to yourself, this next rep matters to me. It may not mean anything to your boss that says, yo man, you late one more time. You might as well not even come in. It may not mean something to your supervisor that's like, hey look, you eat too much. Like real talk, okay, you find a way.
I once on a lot of asparagus.
Yeah, well, you smell it. What's with all this food in your bag? This stuff stinks. You need to, and it's like, I'm tired of walking around with my bag smelling like eggs and every time I go into the break room at my job, they complain about you eating chicken again, and it's like, yeah, it's just chicken and broccoli. It's broccoli steak, and it's like, okay. To answer your question, I think the breakthrough comes the first time you say to yourself, like for me, when I was like, yo man, this matters to me. It may not mean anything to anybody else in my house. It may not mean anything to anybody on my job. It may be something that looks like uncomfortable. It looks inconvenient. Oh, before you leave, you gotta pack up these bowls of chicken and fish, and you gotta put it in your Tupperware and keep it with you. It seems like every time I turn around, it's time for you to eat again. You know, there'll be people in your life that will complain. I'm just saying that for me, the breakthrough did not come when I got the contracts and stuff. The breakthrough came when I said, for me, that I'm gonna do this work because it matters to me. And it matters so much that I'm not gonna just say it and not support my thoughts and my effort with real action. You know, there's a saying that says, you know, faith without work is dead. You know, just understanding that there's a certain amount of effort that when you do it, it becomes the testimony of your belief. You know, it's not enough to just say, well, yeah, this is what I want to do this. Well, that means if I say it with my mouth, I got to be willing to do 30,000 things in the course of the day and not feel like this work is in vain, or it's inconvenient, or I got to wait till somebody says, hey man, you've won this competition, now you should go and have license to do the work that you need. No, I needed to be willing to give everything long before they would ever think to sign me. You know, and I think that willingness to testify and your willingness to believe, I think that's the thing that becomes the example, and that becomes the sacrifice. That isn't a sacrifice, and it can't be thought of as a sacrifice. I'm doing this work because it matters to me, and as a result, yeah, man, the opportunities come, but they come because it mattered to you to do the work, and that because you did the work, guess what? It wasn't work at all. It was just something that was a natural expression of what I needed to do because it mattered to me.
It was passion, it was actionable, and in the end of the day, it mattered to you, and you made it happen because you are Mr.
Getting It Done. Came with the AKA. You heard it here first. Go tell somebody.
Well, I'm getting the wrap it up signal now, so that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the man himself, Mr. Getting It Done, Kai Greene.
Here we go.
Motoka君、それバッテリー、ノーマルバッテリー。